Today I am looking at Apollo 13, specifically the 2-disc Anniversary DVD. What is interesting about this DVD is it has two versions of the film, the original theatrical release and the version seen in IMAX. However, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because the IMAX version of the film is not only 24 minutes shorter, but is also in a wider aspect ratio when comparing to the full screen version of the film. The other thing I found interesting is while the movie is rated PG, the full screen version is rated PG for language and emotional intensity, whereas the IMAX version is rated PG for language and peril. And if you're wondering why the IMAX version of the film is 24 minutes shorter, it had to do with platter size limits on projectors in the early 2000s showing the IMAX version of this film. The other interesting part about this release is this is the full screen edition, so neither version of the film on this DVD set is the same aspect ratio as it was when it was released in movie theaters. Well, let's jump into the comparison. So as you can see here, the full screen actually expands upon what is there in IMAX. I'll freeze frame it here for a second so you can take a look. But yes, the full screen edition actually is taller than the IMAX. The other thing I noticed here about the IMAX is it doesn't look like it's in 1:6:1. Here, let me go full screen to that version of the film. Now, if you're watching this on a 16:9 screen, this image should take up the entire thing. But just in case you're not, I'll zoom out a little bit with a green border so you can see the exact amount of room that this image takes up. This is a 16:9 image, or a 1.78:1 aspect ratio. So I don't know why the DVD lists it at 1:6 when it isn't. And for reference, this is an image from the movie The Witch, which was in a 1:6:1 aspect ratio, and as you can see, there are black bars on the left and right of the screen. Now this will lead into the technical specs on IMDb, and as you can see, it lists the IMAX version from the 10th Anniversary DVD as a 1:78:1 aspect ratio. So this is a unique case where I think IMDb is actually right and what is listed on the box is wrong. Anyway, let's get back to the comparison. Just like I said before, the full screen does expand the top and bottom a bit, except in shots like this where there are a lot of visual effects. They tend to just crop the sides for the full screen release. And I'll play a few more scenes here with the comparison. And one thing I can't get out of my head is with this full screen version of the film, it would have been pretty easy to have a 1:4:3:1 version of this movie with the amount the full screen expands the image. So I don't know why the IMAX version of the movie is 1:6:6 and not 1:4:3, but there is going to be a part 2 to this video, so I'll do some research and try to find out. And if you happen to know, let me know in the comments below. The other reason I'm going to do a part 2 is I have the widescreen version of the film coming in on DVD pretty soon. Once I have that, I'm going to make another video comparing all three versions. But for right now, I was able to grab one still image of the widescreen version of the film, just so you can see what that looks like, overlaid with the IMAX version of the film, and on top of that, the full screen version of the film. So more to come with this movie. But for now, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.